All right, hello and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. We have one more day here at Sunray Park in Phoenix. Grateful for the sunshine and for the nice weather. Thanks for those of you coming from other parts of the country with a little bit different weather conditions. So hopefully we'll get you warm, get you moving. We're going to go ahead and start standing today. We'll be doing some single leg work. And if you are using your B3 bands, we've already added air. So if you are on the recording, make sure you add your air and listen for me. About 20 minutes in, I'll be giving you the thumbs up on when to release your air. So just listen for that and we'll get it rolling. All right, let's go ahead and come on up to standing. We're going to do a standing cat-cow to get moving and get some movement through our mid-back. All right. So when you're ready, you're going to stand up nice and tall to set those feet underneath the hips. Draw your belly in. Send those hips back. You're going to bring your hands down to just above the knees. And then from here, typical breathing of a cat-cow. You're going to exhale as you kind of round through that back. Draw that chin into the chest. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And then soft inhale as you gently arch, lifting through the chest. Good. And again, exhale, rounding. Draw those shoulders forward. Lift up through the spine. Try to breathe in through the nose as you give it a soft arch. Let's go 2 more of those. Tuck that chin in, lifting up to that mid-back. Breathing in. Very nice. Last time. Breathing out. Really push through those shoulders. And breathing in. Very good. On this next breath, going to reach down for the toes. Keep that soft bend in the knees. Draw that chin into the chest. Now breathe into the back of your body here from this forward fold position. Nice deep breath into the back. As you exhale, see if your body wants to come a little bit closer, not force anything. 1 more breath here. On the next inhale, slowly come up to standing. Standing nice and tall, shoulders back. All right, we're going to be working some balance today. So we're going to continue our warm-up, starting to introduce some balance. So lifting up to that midline, coming onto one leg, and we're going into our ankle rolls next. Shoulders back and down. Here between 5 to 10 times one direction, and then go ahead and switch the direction of that ankle roll. Same thing other way. Very good. Set that foot down. Same thing other side. Drawing up. Eyes up. Go ahead, switch directions. Fantastic. From here, a little bit wider base stance. We're going to loosen up through those hips. Some hip circles. We're going to put a combination movement in our first piece. It's going to be a single leg deadlift. Switch direction of those hip circles into a reverse lunge. I'll demonstrate that just here in a minute, but first we're going to stretch out our quads. So coming back onto that single leg, draw everything up. Let's come onto that one foot. Grabbing that foot, pulling the heel towards the glute, drawing the shoulder back. So we'll have a minute going left leg, single leg deadlift into a reverse lunge. After a minute of practicing that, we'll do some step or jump jacks in between legs. And after the second leg, we'll do either a side shuffle and then work into some grapevines. When you're ready, shake out that quad. Same thing other side. Draw up, shoulders back, grabbing that foot. Looking to pull that heel towards the glute as you gently encourage that thigh to push back. Hips nice and level. Go. Almost there. And 3, 2, 1, and release that leg. Excellent. All right, so let me demo a couple of reps for you, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into it. First round's going to be unweighted. So you're going to lift up through the hip. Soft bend the knee. I can draw my knee up to start. We're not starting yet. I'm going to do a couple of reps. You're going to have a long spine as you reach forward for that foot. And you'll come back through that high knee. And then from there, you go to that reverse lunge. Long step back, driving through the heels. I'll show you once more. I bring the knee up, lifting up out of that hip, coming to that single leg deadlift. Back toe pushing, pointing down to the ground. Oops, working that balance. Knee comes back up. And then I step it back for that reverse lunge. So we'll have 1 minute on one leg. As I mentioned, we'll go some step jacks or some jump jacks in between sides. 1 minute on the other side. We're going to do 2 rounds. So let's start here in 10 seconds. Your non-dominant leg, I'm going to assume for most that's going to be the left side, but if you need to switch that up, that's totally fine. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Draw the knee up, lifting up out of the hips as you reach for that front foot. Very good. Draw that knee back up, and then you step it back, control that knee down for the lunge. Beautiful. Forward. Good. We're back to that hinge. Sitting back into that heel. Draw the midline in. And back and down for the lunge. Super. Find that sequence. Every time you come back to that standing position, that knee comes high, really lift up that midline. Good. Out 2 more cycles here. Knee high, looks great. Crew, just really focus as your chest comes forward in that deadlift, that back thigh drives high. Good, last sequence here. Up, forward, up, and 3, 2, 1. When you finish that rep, shake it out, and then we're gonna come into some step or jump jacks. Let me doing some steps today. Excellent. Ten seconds here. Good. Get a nice opening through those shoulders. And 2, 1, and pausing there. All right, we'll take 10 seconds. Let's get ready for that opposite leg. So check in with your feet. We want to make sure we don't have any kind of toe out position. All those toes pointing forward. Lift up out of that hip. And 2, 1, here we go. On your more dominant side, so you can bring that knee up. Forward hinge first. Toe points down. We come back to that high knee position. From there, we reach the foot back, arms reach forward for the lunge. Beautiful. Good. Up out of the hip. Just keep the hips as level as you can to your shoulders. Like gripping the foot down to that support leg, pushing that big toe down. Excellent. Moving well. Right about halfway. Every time I come back to standing, lift everything up. I've got those supports from the sky holding me tall. Beautiful. Midline drawn in. Good, Sharon. Great positioning. Nice, Kathy, moving smooth, Jean. One more sequence, folks. Coming up into that minute. And when you finish that rep, go ahead and rest. Excellent job. From here, we're gonna go into our side shuffle. So it'll be a step and slide. When you get to the other end, you can do that step behind your body, opposite hand, reach for the opposite foot, side step, step behind, reach for the opposite foot. Good. Take 20 seconds from here, and then we'll have a 30-second break. So it'll be the end of set 1. Very good. Nice little side shuffle. 10 seconds left. Good. And 3, 2, 1. Let's take 30 seconds. Grab a drink. We'll be back to that single leg deadlift and that reverse lunge. I'm going to continue to go unweighted. If anybody does want to hold weights, probably best held at the sides of your body. All right. Getting ready in 10 seconds here. You're back to that non-dominant leg. Be our last time through. Keep that focus. Good single leg practice. And 2, 1, here we go. Deadlift first. Back toe points down. Hips level. If you're feeling more secure in that movement, see if you can flow through it just a little bit faster. Still hitting strong positions. Excellent. Jean, just watch that right foot. Your toe is rotated out just a little bit, it looks like from my angle. Just make sure the toe's pointing forward. Excellent. Just over halfway, friends. Great control. Whew, feeling that hip burn. Beautiful. Maybe one more sequence here. Knee high, controlling down. Knee high, finishing through that lunge. Beautiful. When you finish that sequence, shake it out and you're back to your step or jump jacks. Careful, Jean. Nice. There you go. 10 seconds, and we'll have a 20-second setup for the next exercise. Opposite side of the body. 3, 2, 1, and take that pause there. All right, 15 seconds will be on the second leg for the second time, so our last time through. And then we're gonna turn up the volume with that next circuit, with a little bit more intensity. Check in with the feet, toes pointing forward. Lift everything up on your dominant leg this time. Here we go. Long spine. Focus to drive that back thigh up as your chest hinges forward. And back and down for the lunge. Excellent. It up. Down. Beautiful. Woo. Nice and controlled. Great movements. Y'all are making this look fairly easy. And a lot of single leg deadlift with this crew that's here today. So now just turn it into a combo movement. About 2 more cycles. Back and down. Nice. 10 seconds. Get another cycle in. Lift up. Hinging forward. Awesome. Finish that sequence. And then take a pause. Shake it out. You can either stick with that side shuffle, or we can advance it into the grapevine. And if you want to add a little bit more balance work here, as you reach for the opposite foot, you can keep that back foot off the ground. There you go. You've had enough balance work, then just set it down. Do that little curtsy step. Awesome. 15 seconds. There you go. Cross in front, cross behind. Good movement through the hips. And 3, 2, 1, and take a pause. Nice job. Let's grab a drink. Got thrusters and burpees coming up next. All right, let's go ahead and roll out the wrist for a second. Just circle the wrist around. Other way. Super. From here, stagger stance, tricep side bend. Left foot forward, right foot back. Reach your right arm up as you bend that elbow. Push that back hip forward, and a gentle side bend, opening up that upper body and the front of the hips. Squeezing that glute, coming out of it, coming into it. So we're really being intentional about this hip shift here in the back leg, grounded through that front heel. And if you want, tilt the head, rotate, peering up past your right elbow. Very good. Unwind. Same thing other side. So now your left foot steps back. Left arm reaches up, bending that elbow, reaching around. Get that hip shift with the eyes up. Again, bending to the side. Bending into it, coming out of it. Second time, I rock that hip forward, bend to the side, and then I can add that gentle rotation, peering up past your left elbow this time. Beautiful. And shake it out. All right, hips should be fairly warm from what we just did with those lunges and that single leg deadlift. Light weights to start. We're going to be doing a minute of a thruster into a minute of a burpee, and then we'll have a little bit of a short cross crawl work in between. So review on that thruster, it's going to be that full squat, up to that overhead press, all the way down, all the way up. Minute's going to get us breathing pretty good, so just pace yourself through it. When you're ready, set the feet. Light weights to start with, and here we go. Knees push wide. Breathe. Good. Now we've done it before on previous weeks. If you want to kind of moderate your upper body work, you could go a regular squat into an overhead press. Or sorry, one thruster and then one regular squat on the next rep is how we've kind of modulated that overhead work before. That's our halfway point, folks. 30 seconds left. We're going to go directly into the burpees after we finish this. I'm recommending a no push-up version today. If anybody does want to go all the way to the chest, that works as well. I'm just going to be demoing from the top of the push-up for our burpee. 10 seconds. Up and down. Get one more strong rep here. All the way down, all the way up, and transition. Good job. As soon as you set those weights down, you can start right into that burpee. So hands come down, feet step or hop back, step or hop up into that overhead reach. Got 1 minute here. Engage those glutes as you pull yourself tall. Nice. And this is our first of 3 rounds. The good news is that each round gets a little shorter. So next round on the thrusters and burpees, we're going to be working for 45 seconds instead of 60. Good, just over halfway on these burpees. Keep it rolling. Nice wide handprint each time you come down, gripping your mat. 10 seconds. Woo. Last one. And you can take a full rest here, or you can join us for that cross crawl work on this first set. It's going to be 30 seconds of an alternating knee to elbow. Breathing out as you pull that knee up. We're keeping the cross crawl time the same, 30 seconds each set, while the first 2 exercises are going to go shorter, descending in time. Good, let's get about 1 more on each side. And 2, 1, and rest. Awesome, we're gonna take 10 seconds. Be back to set 2 of those thrusters. Now for 45 seconds. So back to your weights. Set the feet. Ready, and begin. If you're not quite ready, just join us when you are. Depending on how that round of 60 seconds felt, you can hold a same pace. I feel like I could turn it up a little bit and turn up that tempo just a hair. Good, squeeze the glutes as you press high. Eyes stay up through this exercise, looking straight forward throughout. There's 30 seconds, 15 left. Doing great. We're going to transition straight into those burpees. Last one. Transition. Good job. Clear your space. And then wide handprint. Here we go. Down to the top of the push-up. You're welcome to hop up as well. I'm doing steps today. Good. Notice your thoughts here. Reaching down, coming up. Just take it 1 rep at a time. Try to keep your self-talk positive, encouraging yourself through. Awesome. And if you're stepping like I am, try to alternate. Which foot tends to step up and back? I normally have a dominant side. All right, let's get 1 more rep. And 3, 2, 1, and take a pause. So either full rest or that cross crawl, we're gonna go a march and punch this time. You can do a running high knee if you want a faster tempo. Otherwise, catch your breath a little bit. Doing great. 3, 2, 1, and pausing here. Great job. 15 seconds. We'll be into our 3rd and final set. This time working for 30 seconds. So back to those thrusters. Elbows up and forward, midline strong, and begin. Up and down for 30 seconds now. Beautiful. Solid through the feet. Full foot is planted and driving straight down into the ground as you push those knees wide. Fight to stay tall through your chest. Excellent. 10 seconds. We're gonna go straight into those burpees. 2, 1, transition. Here we go. Rest breaks coming. Staying strong. Engage those glutes. Woo! Nice work. 15 seconds. Awesome. Up and down. Keep it rolling. One or two more. Here's our last one. And take a pause. Good job. Those of you with the bands on, let the air out. We're going to finish with our cross crawl. So hang out. Let that air out. Awesome. And let's go back to our alternating knee to elbow. Take 30 seconds here. Knee high, elbow draws across. Good. Breathe out as you pull that knee up. Awesome. 15 seconds. Moving well. Strong knee drives. Get about one more on each side. 2, 1, and resting there. All right, great work. Let's grab a drink. We're gonna do a stretch break, and then we have one more circuit, some deadlifts, some dips, and a weighted march. All right. We're gonna do a mid-back stretch from standing first, call it the hinge stretch. I'm gonna use this tree here. You can use a wall, the back of a chair, back of a couch. Draw the belly in. Place the hands about chest or shoulder height. Walk those feet back with a soft bend in the knees. Drive your head and your chest between your arms. Watching that low back posture, not to overarch, but to think about inviting that heart towards the floor to get a good opening to that mid-back. Breathing into the back on the exhale. See if you want to come a little bit closer to the floor. One more breath. And coming on up. All right, if you're at the doorway or a wall, stay there. We're going to open up the chest next. So try to anchor your forearm down or just place the hand against the wall. Inside leg steps forward. And you're going to lean into it. Get a nice opening into the chest and rotate away, looking away over the shoulder. Holding for about 5 nice deep breaths. Our breaths are a little bit faster now after that circuit. When you're ready, same thing other side. Go ahead and turn it around or walk to the other side and same thing. Elbow nice and high, right about shoulder height. Anchor that arm down, leaning into it to get that opening in the chest. And then once you feel that chest stretch, from there you're gonna rotate. Holding for 5 breaths, nice deep breath in and out. One more time. And release. Awesome job. All right, let's do a little spinal rotation here. Rotating side to side. Turn the head and neck as well, looking over that shoulder. Beautiful. From here, widen those feet so that they're way outside the hips. And then anchor down to those knees behind the back stretch next. And engage that midline, drawing the belly in. Extend those arms behind you. And then long spine as you send those hips back. And invite those arms to be pulled right up and over the chest. Pull the chin in towards your chest. Let that neck be heavy so the gravity kind of gives a little bit of a distraction. Create a little space into that neck as you bow forward. One more breath on that next inhale. Drive through your legs. Come on back to standing. Awesome. All right, we have our sumo deadlift as that first movement. So you want to bring over light to moderate weight. And I'm going to be taking you through 4 rounds of this circuit. So you can use the same weight throughout. If you have some heavier options, you can go a little bit heavier as we move through. It's going to be about 12 minutes total in work. We're going to work for 45. Sumo deadlift, dip. If you need to sub a push-up or a tricep extension, that works as well. And we're going to add the hip bridge on the dip since it's a little bit longer interval. And then we'll be working a weighted march or anything else you want to do for blood flow. If you have a trampoline around, you want to do some rebounding on it, you have a stationary bike or something like that. But otherwise, we're going to work on that weighted march. All right, let's get that first set going. Standing nice and tall, draw that belly in with that soft bend in the knees, hinging at the hips. And 2, 1, here we go. Squeeze the glute as you stand tall, long spine as you bow forward. First of 4 sets, so pacing through it. Beautiful. Nice deliberate tempo. Stacking those shoulders right over top of the hips. Breathing in as you lower down, breathing out as you stand tall. Beautiful. There's first 30 seconds. Come a little bit closer, see how we're all looking. Excellent. Squeezing those shoulders back. Nice. Great position, everyone. There you go. Send the hips back. Excellent, Jean. And 2, 1, and pause. Good. Make your way over to your dip station. I'm going to be using this bench here. Whenever you set up for your dips, make sure you sit nice and tall. I want you to really draw the shoulders back. Come into position. And then when you're ready, as we lower down, we're going to invite those elbows to kind of pull in towards the midline of our body, trying to lower those shoulders below the elbows, and then at the top, hips high. Controlling down, drawing those elbows in, lifting through the chest and shoulders. Breathing in to lower. Exhale as you push tall. Nice. I see some of you choosing those tricep extensions. Maybe go like every other round, like on the next round, Jean, you could hold like a forearm plank. Just give those triceps a little bit of a break because that would be a long time for all tricep extensions. Just over 30 seconds in. Down. Lift and elevate through the chest and shoulders. Last 1, 2, 1, transition. All right. And we're going to start that 45 seconds for the weighted march and the blood flow right away. So as soon as you pick up your weights, go into that march. Holding them at the sides, holding them up at the shoulders. Or if anybody wants some more overhead work, we can do like an uneven carry. I'll tell you when we're at halfway. I'll do a little overhead work here. 1 up at the shoulder, 1 overhead. Good. 15 seconds left. If you're holding anything uneven, switch sides. Fantastic. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and resting there. Awesome. We're going to take 15 seconds. If you need longer, by all means, build it in for yourself. And we'll be back for round 2 of those deadlifts. Alrighty. So when you're ready, nice long spine, shoulders hold back, and starting set 2. Inching forward. Ensuring that you don't overarch that spine, just stand tall, really lifting up out of your hips as you stand up. And now that head and neck is going to move just a bit to keep that neck neutral. So as my chest bows forward, my chin pulls in, so I'm looking down towards the floor and not looking straight ahead. Looking straight ahead gives us that like extended neck position. Not a big deal, you know, immediately, but if you have any kind of degeneration in those common spots of that lower cervical area, then it's not the best position to hold for a long duration. Last rep. And transition, making our way for the dips. Or Jean, I was saying, if you want to come down and maybe hold a forearm plank for every other round of tricep extensions. Perfect. So chest nice and tall, draw those shoulders back. And here we go, 45 seconds. You're working these dips, you want to make sure the shoulders don't kind of sink into the ears. So you want to think about active shoulders. We're pushing down into our surface. Trying to keep our neck as long as possible. Coming to that hip ridge at the top really gives a good opening, not just for the front of the hips, but the front of the chest as well. Breathing in, breathing out. 30 seconds in. Trying to look straight ahead as you practice this movement. You get to where you can't do the next one or feel like you're not sure if you're going to make it, please shake it out. Otherwise, there's our 45. So coming right back up and into that marching work. Also hold a weight right up underneath the chin. Just have 1 weight to hold. Good. Keep those hips level. If you're holding the weight down at your sides, you call it like a farmer's carry position. Just watch that you don't have like the palms facing behind you. Rotate those palms forward. Really be intentional about lifting the chest. 15 seconds left. Also hold weight on one side and then switch it up. All different ways to challenge the body. All right, into set 2 in 3, 2, 1, and pausing there. Coming back to those deadlifts. As always, if you need to change up your movements, if you want to get more squats in or more lunges, that's always an option. Otherwise, round 3 of deadlift. I'm going to show the weights on the outsides of the body this time, toes pointing forward and hinging at the hips. So I can hold, if I have 2 weights in each hand or 1 weight in each hand, I can choose to hold the weight on either side of my legs, set my feet a little bit closer. Typically we'll call this like a suitcase deadlift. If you remember like the old school luggage before we had those convenient wheels to push our luggage around. So you carry the luggage right at your sides. Good, that's 30 seconds. Squeeze those glutes as you stand tall. Those of you working with a little bit lighter weights, you can play with the tempo as well, where you can intentionally come down nice and slow, like 2 to 3 seconds, and then squeeze the glutes and stand. 2, 1, and pause. Awesome. So either, Gene, if you want to go back to the overhead extension for set 3 as a sub for the dip. Otherwise, if you're ready for that dip, chest tall, shoulders drawn back, and here we go. Looking to include that hip bridge. It's common to have some stiffness in the front of the shoulders as you lower down into the dip if the front of your chest is fairly tight, but it shouldn't feel painful. You shouldn't feel like you're grimacing. Keep that in mind when you're choosing what to push through and what not to. Just over 30 seconds in. Those who go into that hip bridge as well, focus on staying long through that low back. Last one. Beautiful. Back into our carry. Woo! Alrighty, I'm going to hold one at the side and one up to overhead because I have a light weight and a moderate weight here. Draw that belly in. Let you know when we hit halfway. If anyone else is uneven like I am. All right, there's that halfway point. Just about 20 seconds left. Excellent. Nice high knee march. That's 3 rounds already, friends. We got 1 more to go. Keep marching now. 2, 1, and resting there. Awesome. Let's take 20 seconds, a little bit longer break. The heaviest weight you have available that you feel confident to lift up and down. And pull that out now. Alrighty. Coming into our 4th and final round before our cool down stretch. So set the feet, set the shoulders, draw that belly in so you're not arching the spine. And 2, 1, begin. Just like you've been doing. Up. Good. And Jean, you can go all the way to the floor. You can also kind of hold the weight like by the head of the dumbbell and then just take the bottom of the dumbbell to the floor mid shin. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. You've got the flexibility for it, but just make sure it feels good for your body. Nice, Kathy. Heck yeah, Sharon, got that big kettlebell, looking strong, crew. Good focus, hips back, squeeze the tush. Excellent, we're over 30 seconds in, staying strong. I'm gonna watch you all the way to the end here. Looks great, Jean, just like that, nice. Good, Kathy. Don't lean back, just stand tall. Last rep, friends, control it down, standing all the way up, and then put it down, just like you do when you're practicing your reps. All right, final upper body work. So either, Jean, if you wanna go back to the forearm plank, those of you not doing the dips, or join me with the dips. Dippity dip, dip, dip. Shoulders back and down, chest tall, and begin. Continue to breathe. Awesome. Squeezing that tush, eyes looking forward. Just over halfway. About 15 seconds left. All the way into that final position. Those of you holding the plank, keep drawing that belly button in. Don't let those hips start to sink. 2, one, and come into our final march. Awesome work. Here we go. As soon as you're ready, you can begin. All different ways to challenge the grip strength as well. If you have lighter weights, you don't feel super challenged by holding it, you can play with like holding the dumbbells in your fingertips. Kind of get creative with it. Do these marches for postural work. Just a little bit of like steady blood flow. Challenge your body to hold that tall posture as you're holding weight. That's 30 seconds. We're gonna go final 15. Something to remember is we don't always need to feel like we're exhausted from our workouts. We want our workouts to build us up. Some days it's good to feel like you have more in the tank. 2, 1, and resting there. Whew. Losing my grip. Nice work, friends. All right, let's stay up on our feet. Let's go ahead and stretch out our forearms. The way to start that cool down stretch. So you're gonna draw your elbow into the side, grab all 4 fingers, extend them back, extending your wrist back, and then straighten out that elbow. So I bend it in, pull the fingers back, extend the wrist, and then extend through that elbow, really still pulling those fingers back. Let's go 3 times each side. So I'm gonna go 1 more, back and out, holding that extended position, and then we'll switch sides. Same thing other side. So I anchor the elbow in, draw the fingers and the wrist back, and extend. Nice. In. 1 more. Good. For the back sides of the forearms, I want you to make a fist with your thumb inside your fist. From here, you're gonna straighten the elbow, turn the hand like away from your body. So I'm rotating the palm away, and I'm gonna reach around and grab the hand and pull the wrist up like so. Yep. So show it on the other side. Make a fist. Thumb goes inside. And now I straighten the arm. I turn the palm away from me. So I'm rotating in towards my body to turn it away. From here, I reach around, grab that wrist, and gently pull that fist up. So you try to feel this like along this, what I would call the back side of the forearm. Shoulders back and down. Nice. All right, when you finish that, go ahead and make your way down to the floor. We're gonna do our cool down stretch from the ground for the rest of class. Take it nice and slow, kind of inchworm your way down to the floor. We'll start in a bit of a child's position. So coming down to hands and knees, walking your big toes in so that they make contact with each other, and then walk your knees nice and wide, just starting with that traditional child's position. Palms down, rocking those hips back, lowering your head towards your mat. And then use your breath to determine the time. We're gonna take about 3 nice deep breaths into the back. Looking to keep those lungs expanding, keep that rib cage expanding, and then on the exhale, see if your body wants to come a little bit closer to the floor. 2 more. On the next inhale, coming up to all fours, and now we're gonna go our traditional cat-cow. So walking the knees in a bit, nice wide handprint, pushing through that mid-back as you breathe out, draw that chin into the chest, and just a nice subtle arch as you breathe in, drawing the shoulders back and down. Good. Breathing out, lifting up and through, chin to the chest. Breathing in, gentle arch. 1 or 2 more. As you finish those cat-cows, you're gonna stay here, make a nice wide handprint with that left hand. Then we're gonna go our mid-back rotations, right hand behind the head, breathing in as you bring that elbow towards the opposite elbow, breathing out as you open. Between 8 and 10, I'm gonna do 5 from this hand position, and then I'm gonna do a 5 coming down onto the forearm of my left hand. So if you feel really stiff here up on the palm, stay there. If you feel like you wanna go deeper into that rotation, second half of those reps coming down to the forearm, and then same idea, rotating in. As you rotate through that mid-back, try to keep your hips relatively square to the shoulders. Breathing out as you peer up past that elbow, and pausing just for a moment in that open position. And when you're ready, same thing other side. I'll come back to the palm, hand behind the head, breathing in, breathing out. between 8 and 10. Keeping that ability to easily rotate to that mid back. So then it's easier to rotate through the neck and the low back. Once again, if you want to go deeper, you can come onto the forearm of the right hand for the second half of your rotations. When you finish on both sides, you're going to come back up to the palms, and then we're going to start with the left hand for thread the needle. You're going to turn the palm up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then nice and slow, you'll thread that hand underneath that opposite arm, lowering the shoulder towards the mat, trying to square your hips, and then curl that right arm over the head. Chin in, nice and neutral. Close those eyes, about 3 more breaths, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Good. When you're ready, gradually come up out of that, thread the needle, and we'll come into position on the other side. Palm up, thread it down, bringing that shoulder down to the floor, and then walking that top hand a little bit over the head. Good. And then try to square up those hips. Great stretch just to relax those eyes closed. When you're ready, slowly come out of that position and then make your way onto your back. Good morning. So slowly coming onto your back, and we'll finish with a nice little low back opener and hips. So we'll start where we often start with that double knee to chest, hugging those legs in, gradually rock yourself side to side. Once everything checks out with that double knee to chest, then we can go deeper into that 2-knee twist. I'm gonna splay my arms out wide at 90 degrees at my shoulders, knees are up and together, and I'll bring both legs across, turning the head and neck, looking over one shoulder. Opposite direction the legs are going, and then you'll use that midline, scoop both legs across, and then turn the head and neck over the other shoulder. Get about 2 to 3 touches on each side. See if your body wants to go a little bit deeper into that twist. Always use your intuition though, never forcing. Even yourself out on both sides. We're going to take about 30 seconds to a bridge position next. So you're going to keep the knees bent, place the feet flat on the ground. I'm going to draw those shoulders underneath the body. Draw that chin in and gradually raise the hips up as you interlace the hands underneath the body. From there, you're going to keep drawing those shoulders underneath so you can get that nice broad chest position, chin in. And we're going to work this position about 30 seconds from here. So looking to activate the back of the body here. It's a little bit of a cool down activation, but it's also a great opener for the upper body through that chest and especially the front of those hips. Good. Keep squeezing the glutes. If you need to come down for a moment, you can lower it down and then raise back up. We have 10 seconds left. One more nice deep breath. On your exhale, release the hands and nice and slowly come down to your mat. Oh, beautiful. From here, go ahead and extend your left leg straight out. Actually drive that left thigh down as you interlace the hands and pull the right knee. Start with it just up towards the right shoulder. You can revisit those ankle rolls that we did from standing. Use this as a bit of an inner thigh opener. So as you're driving the left thigh down, you're pulling the right knee across the right shoulder. Get a bit of an opening through those inner thighs. And then when you're ready, we'll move into that glute stretch. You'll take that right knee, drawing it across to the left shoulder. Keep the head and neck square on this one, just looking straight up towards the ceiling or sky. Feel like you've loosened up a decent amount for that glute stretch. Then we'll start to work your left leg up to meet your right foot on the left thigh and coming into figure 4. Square the head and neck, draw that chin into the chest so you're not extended through the neck. And just relax those eyes closed as you breathe. Those of you that know the sciatic nerve floss, if you want to extend that left leg, drawing the toes back towards your face, point the foot to the sky, draw it back and holding it there as you bend the knee down and in. Go through about 3 cycles here. Up, point, back, and down. Good job. One more time. Sometimes you don't feel a whole lot. I'm not feeling a whole lot on this side, which is just really, I take it as a good sign. Like everything's pretty moving, not too stiff there. And then we'll release, and we're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're gonna start with that single knee to chest. So we gotta drive that right thigh down this time, interlace the hands, starting with that left knee, pulling it wide to that left shoulder, and reintroducing those ankle rolls. Switch directions of the ankle. Gliding the knee across the body for that glute stretch. Keeping the shoulders down, keeping the hips down. So it's not necessarily a spinal twist, but trying to isolate the area, outer hip and glute area. When you feel ready, working your right leg up, coming into figure 4 on this side. Grabbing in between the leg with the left hand. Just spend this first 15 or so seconds hugging the leg in. Sometimes we jump into that sciatic work, we kind of miss the opening of that hip. Good, and once that left hip starts to feel like it's opening, if you want to add the right leg, extending it up, drawing those toes back, point the foot towards the sky, drawing it back, and bending it down and in. Now I'm personally feeling a little bit different. I feel a little bit more tension on this right side today than I did on my left. So in an ideal situation, I would pay attention to my body a little bit later today, maybe give this stretch another touch or do a different variation to keep that right leg loose. If you notice one side is more stiff than the other, you can always start the stretching on that side when you're working on your own, and then you can stretch that side twice. All right, when you finish that, go ahead and release those legs. Finish with a little bit of happy baby. Elbows on the insides of the knees, grabbing those outer legs, and just gently rocking yourself side to side. So really use those elbows, open up those inner thighs. A little massage for that low back. Beautiful. And then once you finish there, let's just take that time to be flat on your back. Extend the legs. You can either reach the arms up to overhead as a starting position, and you can circle them down and just bring them to the sides. I feel better with my palms up. It feels like I open my chest a little bit more. Draw those shoulders back. And we're going to take a minute here to ourselves. I'll play the chimes the last 30 seconds. Just feel your body on the floor. Feel your breath. And practice being still. Thanks for those of you that came to be here with us live today. Please take as long as you need. Always appreciate working with you all. Continue to drink your water. Get some sunshine when you can. And most of all, be grateful and enjoy your day. We'll talk to you next time.